When a teenage girl lifts a violin and plays as if her heart is breaking, people stop. Years ago, on a sunny afternoon in Santa Monica, Karolina Protsenko did exactly that. She stood on a busy promenade with a bright blue violin, and strangers who had been rushing past suddenly froze. Her music carried something rare, innocence wrapped in intensity, discipline softened by joy. Within days, the world knew her name. But viral fame is rarely simple. Behind the glowing smile and soaring melodies lies a story of migration, sacrifice, pressure, and a childhood lived in the spotlight. From Kiev to a new beginning, Karolina was born on October 3rd, 2008, in Kiev, a city where art and history intertwine. Music surrounded her from the beginning. Her father, Nikolai, was a guitarist, and her mother, Ella, a classically trained pianist. Their home echoed with rehearsals, harmonies, and ambition. They noticed early that their daughter possessed unusual sensitivity to pitch and rhythm. At 6, she picked up a violin for the first time. What began as a lesson quickly became devotion. She practiced not because she was told to, but because the instrument felt like an extension of her voice. The leap to America. In 2015, the family made a life-altering decision. They left Ukraine in search of greater opportunity and settled in Simi Valley. The transition was not easy. New language, new schools, unfamiliar culture. Everything required adjustment. Yet music remained constant. Karolina began studying the Suzuki method, learning discipline through repetition and structure. Her early teachers recognized her remarkable focus. She practiced for hours each day, balancing scales and etudes with homework and English lessons. Childhood for her was structured and purposeful, filled with notes that gradually built towards something extraordinary. A family orchestra at home. At home, music was not performance, it was connection. Her father's guitar, her mother's piano, and Karolina's violin blended into informal family concerts. Her younger brothers listened and occasionally joined in, turning their living room into a rehearsal hall of warmth and encouragement. Importantly, her parents chose nurture over pressure. They guided her without forcing her. They believed talent blossoms best when watered with patience. That philosophy would shape every stage of her career, reminding her that love mattered more than applause. The street that changed everything. In 2017, 9-year-old Karolina carried her violin to the 3rd Street Promenade. The goal was simple: gain confidence by playing for strangers. She began performing Despacito, and something electric happened. Crowds gathered, phones lifted, smiles widened. A video of her performance spread rapidly across social media, gathering millions of views within days. The little girl from Kiev had become a global sensation. What started as a confidence-building exercise turned into a life-defining moment. Viral fame and rising numbers. Her online presence grew at breathtaking speed. Covers of pop hits like Ed Sheeran's Shape of You and Tones and I's Dance Monkey showcased her ability to merge classical technique with contemporary rhythm. Her YouTube channel soared past 1 million subscribers, then 5 million, and eventually surpassed 8 million. Billions of views followed. Audiences praised her joy, her precision, and her emotional expression. Yet numbers, no matter how dazzling, cannot measure the complexity of growing up while the world watches. The price of being seen with fame came scrutiny. Comments poured in, some admiring, others critical. People analysed her expressions, outfits, and gestures, often forgetting she was still a child. Karolina once admitted she read many comments, hoping to improve. Some inspired her, others hurt deeply. Her parents stepped in as both managers and protectors, filtering negativity while maintaining her schooling. Still, the pressure lingered. Each new video carried expectations. Each performance had to be better than the last. The carefree joy of busking began to feel like responsibility, a national spotlight. In 2019, Karolina appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show, performing Post Malone's Sunflower. The audience rose in applause. The host surprised her with a custom violin and funds to help her buy a puppy. It was a dreamlike moment, broadcast to millions. Overnight, she became a household name. Yet behind the televised joy, her life grew more structured. Rehearsals, interviews, and social media deadlines replaced spontaneous street sessions. Fame offered opportunity, but it quietly reshaped her childhood, balancing school and stardom. Despite her success, Karolina's parents insisted on education and routine. She continued attending school while maintaining her growing career. Her father accompanied her to performances. Her mother managed online platforms. Their small circle functioned like a protective shield, yet even with support, fatigue surfaced. Long recording sessions left her drained. She once confessed she sometimes wished to play without cameras. It was a small but telling admission, a reminder that passion can feel heavy when constantly documented. The pandemic pause. When the world shut down in 2020, the lively streets of Santa Monica fell silent. Public performances stopped overnight. For Karolina, whose identity was tied to live connection, the isolation felt strange. She adapted by performing from home, streaming music to fans through screens instead of sidewalks. The warmth of applause was replaced by digital comments. While her smile remained radiant, the absence of physical audiences altered her experience. The world's uncertainty added emotional weight to an already demanding life. Collaboration and shared understanding. During this period, Karolina collaborated with Angelica Hale, a fellow young performer known from America's Got Talent. Their duet resonated deeply with fans. Both understood the paradox of early fame, adoration intertwined with pressure. For Karolina, collaboration provided comfort. Sharing music with someone who understood the spotlight lessened the sense of isolation. It reminded her that artistry thrives not only in solo brilliance but in shared vulnerability. The instrument and its symbolism Karolina often performs on a violin inspired by the legendary craftsmanship of Antonio Stradivari. Stradivari's instruments are revered for tonal perfection, shaped by subtle imperfections. The symbolism feels fitting. Like those violins, Karolina's artistry shines because of its humanity. By her mid-teens, her channel had amassed billions of views and significant earnings. Yet wealth could not restore the simplicity of anonymity. Success amplified both opportunity and sacrifice. Growing up in real time. By 2025, Karolina was 16, still living in Simi Valley with her family. She continued recording, collaborating, and dreaming of international stages. But maturity had entered her voice. The girl who once played purely for joy now carried deeper awareness. She understood that fame requires maintenance. She knew that algorithms demand consistency. Yet her passion endured. She spoke about inspiring young musicians, about teaching someday, about ensuring music remained her refuge rather than her burden. The quiet weight of expectations behind every polished video lies unseen labor, retakes, tuning, editing, rehearsing. Karolina's life has been shaped by expectations most teenagers never encounter. While peers navigated typical adolescence, she balanced sponsorships and global audiences. She remained remarkably kind and grounded, donating portions of her income to charitable causes and encouraging aspiring artists. Still, the central question lingers: how does one protect joy when joy becomes profession? Evolution beyond prodigy implies fleeting brilliance. Artist implies growth. Karolina's evolution suggests the latter. Her repertoire has expanded. Her interpretations deepened. She experiments with original compositions, allowing her voice to mature beyond covers. The innocence that once defined her performances now blends with introspection. This transformation signals not decline but development. The world that once saw a child marvel now witnesses a young musician shaping her own narrative. Conclusion: still playing, still becoming. Karolina Protsenko's story is not merely about viral fame. It is about resilience, adaptation, and the delicate balance between ambition and childhood. From Kiev to California, from sidewalk performances to international recognition, her journey reflects both triumph and sacrifice. She remains that girl with a violin who made strangers pause, but she is also a young woman learning to guard her spirit. Whether she finds lasting peace in music will depend not on views or applause, but on preserving the joy that first made the world stop and listen